Okay, so we are live today. It is Tuesday, March 5th. Let's get right to it. Again, another just quick market overview. So, right now, the markets are, I would say, in limbo. I mean, we're still in a bull run, but things have slightly cooled off, and it's expected. So, just as a quick look at the heat map here, what I was waiting for to do, I was going to release this video earlier, but we had some economic data that was coming to our attention, and I wanted to wait and see what the US PMI data was going to look at. So, if you are not familiar, the long and short of it is this is the services sector data. And there was a certain level of expectations. We came in higher, actually, than expectations. Forecast was 51.4 from previous 51.3, and now we came in at 52.3. So kind of jumped up there, which suggests moderate expansion. So there's like an underlying theme here, at least for the US economy. This number staying, it's not too of uh, out of forecast line, but it is up. It's not down, which means again expansion. So I would expect, given that Harker didn't say anything yesterday, so Fed Harker didn't say anything yesterday. Bostic spoke about having no urgencies to cut interest rates. So I'm pretty sure he probably saw this data ahead of time. And the expansion effort, the PMI coming in at this elevated level does not give the Fed any need. So I would expect a consistent message. We have today Barr, Vice Chair Barr, who's also going to speak today. So I think he speaks around noon. So I'll keep a listen to what his message is going to be. But I expect something consistent because tomorrow we have Fed Chair Powell to speak, and we're already getting rumors about his speech tomorrow, and that speech is going to reflect a more hawkish, a more neutral tone about the markets. So I'm really just expecting the Fed to stick to their guns. Fed Bostic went as far as to say that they expect the first rate cut in the third quarter. So, we'll see. This PMI data definitely does not help in terms of their interest in cutting rates early. They're seeing expansion, they're not seeing a slowdown. This is just telling them that their monetary policies are working and they are keeping an eye on inflation, the usual MO, um, and will adjust the policies accordingly. So that's that. Inflation on Japan came out. Japan's inflation is ticking back up. So yesterday, shared with you articles about their disinflation and their negative interest rates. So now with inflation going back up for them because they were in negative rates, their banks can talk about removing negative rates off the table since inflation is finally starting to work in their economy. So very fascinating overall with China. Those were really the high level overview. So the market started off low this morning, and that was because of you got a variety of news, all with tech stocks. So you had AMD here. They want to build an AI chip tailored for China. You don't even need to really read the rest of this article from the Japan Times to know that that's going to be a national security interest, at least here in the US. You have the China balloons flying over our regions. You have the tensions with Taiwan, and then the strategic play between both superpowers. So AMD hitting a roadblock in the US. They aren't, NVIDIA, but they're still a AI chip maker, and that's tech. But continuing with that, with China again, this was also weighing down on the market. Is Tesla. I heard they also had a fire in their Gigafactory in Berlin, but their China sales deliveries are down. So that's a pretty big market for them. So when deliveries are down in China, that's going to affect the company's revenue. So that's also going to weigh in on the tech stocks. And then Apple, again, iPhone sales, 24% as Huawei's popularity surges. So we had a theme this morning, and the stock market was reflective of that. Stocks are still in the red, Apple's in the red. We can take a look here at some quick levels, and then we'll get into our usual. So for Apple, this is here on a weekly. They look as if, let's span out to a daily. So they are below the 200 moving average. We have you got some potential support and resistant levels coming up. But if you take a look at this on the monthly right here, so I would wait and see if you're interested in Apple and taking a position in Apple. We are at a critical juncture here in terms of moving average. So if this holds at the 170 mark, then we could see a bounce up. But if it does not, then we have further room to run lower, and that would make him play the $145 level on Apple, and that would be a critical level of support for them. I mean, you have a few levels before there, but yeah, 145, and then taking a look at AMD, they spanning out here. Okay, yeah, so they hit an all-time high with right before this news hit, and now they are pulling back. So if this continues, the sell-off would be close to 158 for AMD to start. That's like a first level, and then you could look at 126 as well long term. So let's take a look here. So 182 would be the first level, and then 156 would be the second level. And then we got here 125 on that. And then for Tesla's been in a downtrend. I had this channel up a while ago. For those of you in the community, you've seen this, top, rejection, top. So we had 3 rejections off the top. Then bottom, we bounce up. Bottom, break below the channel. Bottom, then we break up. But then rejection. And now this news. We could see it maybe retest 220 in a positive light, but I would expect it to go back down to 106, eventually make its way back down to 106, especially if sales, China deliveries continue to stall and affect the company overall, because that's a big market for them. So that is Tesla. That's the news. So let's get into crypto real quick. The overall crypto market still suggests playing the fib levels on this. So we did not quite hit 2.5 trillion. I think we hit it, but we pulled right back. So we're at 2.4 trillion here for the total. And then for altcoins, all the alts excluding ETH, we are at 675 billion. So again, we're in like no man's land for the overall market. Can go either way. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin did make a high of 69,324, but then pulled back. So kind of wait and see here if it's going to consolidate and then make a move up. But, this pattern right here is looking like a double bottom, which is a bullish pattern, but it needs to fall back and then run up before it confirms. But just something to watch, something to take note of. Ethereum still has room to run, in my opinion. It's at 3,800. I said yesterday 4,000, so which is that fib level. So that's what I'm expecting with this type of momentum. Keep in mind that everything is overbought. Everything is overextended at the moment. So if you're buying in at these levels, I would caution you. right now. Wait for some confirmations and then jump on in. All right, the S&P is pulling back. We'll see what it does, if it's just going to consolidate here, or if we'll get a gradual pullback over the weeks that bring us to 4,700. Something to keep watch there. A few gap to fills on a daily. We could pull back to say 5K and consolidate around there and then push up higher. If we don't, then 5K will turn into 4,700, and then we'll have to assess from there. Obviously, the Nasdaq is down because of what I just mentioned earlier about Apple, AMD, and Tesla. Close without saving on that one. Close without saving on that one. So that's the Nasdaq. It is what it is. The Nikkei. So we have here what I showed you yesterday, a double top forming. This is a clear double top here, and we will see how this plays out. It ended slightly in the negative, but I'm going to keep an eye out on this over time. The VIX is elevated. At the time of this video, it is 10:25 Eastern time. So the VIX is elevated, and it's still low compared, but we're getting some expansion here on the VIX. Still not enough fear in the market, but that's just something of note. And then what we got here? We got our iShares here. This candle, depending on how it closes today, this could be a bearish indicator. This is looking like a bearish candle on the IBIT shares ETF, and then same obviously with the Fidelity ETF. So that is what I have for you there. Stay vigilant, stay wise, manage your portfolios soundly, and again, My Tech Academy, come check us out. 3 handsome amigos here. And you have been listening to this one right here. And again, Chuck, Eli, we're active in the community. We are about growth and empowerment. So we have other videos here on our YouTube channel that you can check out. And then Eli has a gem of just videos, forward-thinking videos on things that he sees happening. So check us out at mytechacademy.io. Again, that's mytechacademy.io. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.